No, Michael Novak. Following Mr. Novak is Julie Carson.
Good evening, Superintendent Cortines, Board President Garcia, members of the board. My name is Michael Novick. I'm a tenured ESL teacher with the district. I've been working for LA Unified since 1982 in adult education. I wanted to speak about the mechanism the Division of Adult and Career Education has devised for identifying teachers in the adult division who would be eligible for probationary assignments and eventually permanent assignments. Most of us in adult education see this mechanism as an obstacle to tenure and not a path to it, and we think that it will ill-serve the students. Los Angeles has the largest population of poorly educated adults and adult second language learners in the country, and we need a professional staff of permanent full-time educators to meet those needs. The program that's been set up by the Division of Adult and Career Education creates an obstacle to that. It means that tenure or permanent status would be a special privilege for a few when it needs to be the norm for teachers in adult education. I've been teaching since '82. I've been tenured for 17 years. If I were applying today, none of that experience would apply to the tenure process. If I did my professional development during the summer of the year they identified, none of that would apply to the process. At the end of that process, all you are is you're on a list of people who can be selected by a principal for possible probationary assignments. It's not a tenure list, it's a tenure eligibility list. I was on such a list when I became tenured. I sat on the list for 5.5 years before I was finally given a tenure assignment after being the amnesty coordinator for Hollywood Adult School. And so we think the whole process is wasteful, it's expensive, and it's designed to prevent teachers. The whole process that we have in the division right now, you have what's called a greenie. It's designed to prevent you from accidentally being tenured by having a full-time assignment in the district. So we think that it's unnecessary. We think we need a board policy that says that the standard and the norm should be 50% at least of the positions in the Division of Adult Career Education or the teaching hours are filled by tenured full-time professional teachers. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Julie Carson from Kennedy San Fernando Community Adult School, and I've taught there for 25 years, and we'd like to ask for your indulgence. We have 5 more speakers that will speak for about a minute and a half each. So the next speaker is Kenia Barbosa from Roosevelt.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kenia Barbosa.
She's on the list.
I'm a single mother and an adult school teacher as well. As an adult school teacher, it is with great concern to learn that the board is making many unfair decisions on how to open up the tenure process for adult ed instructors. This process is more meant to be one of excluding as many teachers as they can. One example of how DATE has designed the tenure process to exclude as many people from becoming tenured is the way they began to require applicants the 12 hours of professional development within a specific year. This this specific period is when none of us knew that this was going to be a requirement. There was no requirement. When this requirement came to be, we didn't know that this was going to be one of the requirements. Also, another thing I would like to share with you guys is that as a single mother, the insecurity of having this kind of job without being tenured, always and knowing that I could be dismissed within 3 days and being the head of the household for me and my son and a teacher, it forces me constantly to be considering a career outside of teaching. I love my job, I love my students, but me and my family need some sort of job security. So please think about what you guys, the decisions that you guys are doing, because becoming a tenured teacher for adult school is a very important thing that we need to.
Thank you. Carolyn Weber.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Weber, and I'm an adult school teacher. I've been in LA Unified since 1993. I used to teach elementary school. So I found out when I got to the adult school that 18 hours a week is full-time if you don't have tenure. So of course I wanted more hours. I thought, how can I get more hours? I found out that you can get more hours, but they're kind of like backdoor practices. One's an H assignment, which is too complicated for me to explain right now, but it's not that great. The other one is to sub for yourself. So a lot of teachers sign the sub sheet every single day. They're the primary record keeper of that class, but they're signing in as a substitute every day. that kind of an assignment does not include illness time or vacation time, and it's a lower rate of pay. So a lot of people are doing this to get more hours. My second year in adult school, I had 32 hours. I was getting full benefits, but yet I was doing some of these other things that are really unfair and just really bad for morale. For example, when you have your vacation, you only get your base pay, what your 18 hours were. The rest is you don't get. So basically, you're not getting a 3-week vacation. You're getting maybe a little bit more than a week vacation per year paid. So some of these things are bad. I'm just saying that why don't we continue like in elementary school, K to 12, 2 years probation and evidence of planning. People can observe you, and then you get tenure. Okay,
Thank you.
All I have to say.
Okay, those are all our speakers for the UTLA. You got a minute 33 left on the subject.
Hello, board members. My name is Gabriel Sanchez. I'm a member of United Adult Students. I'm not a teacher, I'm a student. And I'm here just to support the group. And, you know, I want to tell you that there's a lot of different ways that you guys can work these things out with the teachers. You know, it's a really hard job that they do every day. They have to deal with us every day, and you know, probably one day you probably were in the same position as they are right now. So let's work together. You know, this is education. This is the United States of America. Come on, I mean, we can do this. We can do it, and we can do it in a peaceful way that it has been done in the past, and so far has worked. I know you guys have a lot of stress, there's a lot of things that are going on every day, but we could sit together one day and try to find solutions to these problems. And I think listening to listening to these people behind me is going to give you an idea. And I have faith that you guys are going to sit together and get to an agreement. And last time I was here, I was here in different situation, but I'm here just to tell you that we could get together and actually you guys could get together and work, because they have to go through a lot every single day. And if you don't keep the teachers happy, you're not going to have happy students. If you don't have happy students, I don't see what's the purpose of education.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Well, time's up.
One subject, but he's on the list.
Yes, he's on the list, but he took 3 minutes the last time. Can you be short?
Yes.
You're
I was
supposed.
told I was speaking too fast last time. I'll do my best. I want to address 3 points. Myth number 1, BASE asserts that tenure in adulthood is somehow a cost item to the district. This is simply not true. Tenured teachers cost no more than teachers held year after year after year in temporary status. As you've heard, health benefit costs are not associated with tenure. Most of our teachers who want health benefits already have them under the present structure. In fact, BASE's practices increase costs to the district. The processing and maintenance of large numbers of part-time employees is not cost-effective. Job security for teachers would reduce the costs associated with maintaining a workforce that's larger than necessary. We advocate for fewer employees at reduced costs of overhead, which would have the added benefit of a more stable workforce with attendant greater continuity and stability in the instructional program. Myth number 2 is that tenure is unaffordable because of the lower funding structure of adult ed. This is an unrelated issue. It's a red herring. Every district in the state receives the same revenue limit as BASE does in this district, and there are tenured teachers all over the state. Myth number 3 is the contention that, as adult ed is a non-mandated program, the district would be saddled with surplus teachers in the event of changes in state funding. Adult ed has been consistently funded for years, with the notable exception of the current mess that we're in. But the Education Code is clear and simple on this issue. In the event of a loss of funding or reduction of offerings in a program, tenured teachers can be laid off. This excuse, too, is without substance. What we have here is a non-process designed to exclude teachers from consideration and create the appearance of tenure in adult ed in response to this board's resolution of 2007 without actually doing it. This Rube Goldberg process is not followed by any other district in the state. Not one of the 367 districts in California that offer adult ed follow this monster that they have designed here to keep teachers from getting job security.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ernest. We appreciate all of you coming down.